Okay, let's continue our discussions into another module called the sales module, right? So what we just did in the first part of this class is purchasing something, but now we want to sell it. So right now, if you look at our system, we actually have lots of pens. I think we have more than 1,000 pens. So let's take a look real quick, okay? So this one we'll explore next time in more details, but you can go to stock summary just to see what's in our inventory, okay? So let's check it out. Boom, right now. See, I have 1,160 pens right now. So let's sell this. And actually, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. So if you want to sell the pen, you want to sell for profits, right? So how much is the cost of the pen? ราคาต้นทุน how much is it? You can look at this from stock ledger, report stock ledger. Okay, and you might need to refresh. If not, it's okay. Actually, not stock ledger. I'm sorry. We go to stock balance. Stock balance. Sorry, this one. And you probably have to generate the reports. Okay, there you go. Okay, you generate reports, and right now you only have a pen in your inventory systems. But if I want to see the cost of the pen, I go to the column called the valuation rates. This one right here. So from what I purchased so far, with because I use different, because I bought the pen for different price. But how much do they cost in total? It's actually cost 10.34 baht each. So if I want to sell the pen for profit, I should sell more than 10.34. For yours, it should be different. So this is actually another very powerful thing that a lot of the business owners want to see, like how much do their inventory actually cost in average. So that one is actually going to reflect in like the selling price and what is the profit from selling. It's actually calculated from that price. Okay. All right, so I'm going to sell it for very, really expensive, okay? But let's talk about how you sell stuff first. So what happened to your system when you sell something, right? When you sell something, you got to have money in your bank account. That's obviously it's going to happen. The next thing is that your asset, which is your products, will go away. So that two process is described in this diagram here, right? So essentially, if your bank account go up by 20 baht, that means in the double accounting system, that means something has to go down. And the things that goes down is actually the income, which is the sales account. So this is something that I told you from the first class that we met, that in the double accounting system, what's kind of confusing is that income is actually the opposite of what we thought it is. Because if we get income, that means that the income goes down. So the income goes negative, that means we got money. That's kind of this is actually quite, against our, I guess, common sense, right? But the way that it works here is that when you get money, your income goes down, but then what goes up is actually your assets. So that's why it kind of balances them this way. So think about income move to your bank account. That's what happened when you get money from selling things. Okay, so that's money, right? The one below is your stocks, right? So again, if you're giving away, right, you deliver your stock to your customers, that means your stocks in hand, your assets go down. But then something has to go up in the other side. The things that goes up is actually the expense. So the expense is the cost of your products. So from here, I didn't emphasize this, but from my diagram, I bought my stocks for 10 baht. So that means that the cost of my goods is 10 baht, right? But I'm going to sell my goods for 20 baht, right? So that means that this is the sale, right? 20 baht going to my bank account, right? But then the actual profits is actually the selling price minus the cost of the product, right? So that's what it is. So this thing is going to offset the amount of money that I have, and the remaining is actually the profit. So this is the cost of my products go as the expense. Okay? ราคาต้นทุนสินค้าคือราคาค่าใช้จ่ายนะครับ Yeah? That's what happened. So as you can see that in the selling system, right? Even in the simplest form, you're going to have to take care of the accounting, the money, right? And also the stocks automatically. So that's what happened. But then again, this is too simple. Similar to the purchase diagram that I showed you before. Like this is what happened overall, right? But then if you only keep track of these activities, then I don't even know who am I paying again. If you're paying someone, actually it's the act of being in debt to someone. That's how I'm paying someone. And again, I want to keep track of multiple payment, right? Maybe my customer want to pay me in multiple terms, and maybe I deliver in multiple rounds. So again, this is too simple. And the way that I solve this problem is actually to break down this process into, again, multiple actions, basically. And as you can see that we don't have to go through them one by one again, because it's quite similar to the purchase processes, okay? So first, remember when we want to purchase something, we make the purchase order, make a deal. Similar thing, if you want to sell something, then you make a deal with your customers, okay? So that's a sales order. So similar to the purchase order, you make the sales order, right? And from the sales order, you can keep track of the money activities going to the above process. First, when you make a deal with your customer and then you want them to pay you, you got to give them the invoice. That's วางบิน, right? So this is quite important. You got to give the invoice to your customer, so you're going to create sale invoice, okay? And then once your customer pay you, then you record that transaction in the payment entry. So you already did this, but on the purchase side. So this one is the opposite, which is the receiving the money instead of paying the money. Okay? And lastly, if your customer pay you, you better give them your products, right? So it's the delivery of the goods, which is called delivery note. So I don't know why it doesn't say sell whatever delivery is. It's delivery note, which I think is quite unusual terms to me when I first encountered this. Okay, so let's go through from left to right now. You don't have to go back the other way because you already did from the purchase module. Okay, so let's sell our pen, right? And for those who just came in, I just first, when you want to sell something, you better sell for profits. And the way that you check the cost of your pens is actually to go through stock balance, report stock balance, right? And then probably have to click generate reports. And right now you only have a pen, so you should have one entry in your stock balance. And then look for the column that's called item valuations, right here. Valuation rates, okay? Probably going to be at the end. So from what I purchased so far, my pen costs overall 10.34 baht. So when you're going to sell this, better make this one more expensive than this cost, or else you're going to have loss in your system, okay? I'm going to sell it for maybe like 50 baht or something. Let's do that, okay? So first, I'm going to go to sales order, like that, okay? Again, you make a deal with your customers. Typically, this will be another business. Like this, we're not talking about retail right now. This is bulk selling, okay? Sales order, and you have to create your customers. Okay, so let's create one customer, new customers, and I'm gonna do customer A, okay? And typically, this type of sales cycle is for company. You're selling lots of things, okay? And order type sell, I think that should be the one, okay? And again, what are you selling? You're selling pen for, I guess you deliver by, I don't know, tomorrow or something. And I'm selling 500 of it. And I'm selling it for maybe 50 is too much, right? I only cost 10 baht, 10.34, so I'll sell for 20 baht each, which I know that I'm gonna make profit because I already know what the cost of my product is, right? Okay, and you can save it, and then you can submit, okay, like that. Again, the sales order doesn't affect anything in the system. This is just a deal. So you can, again, change your deal. If you decide that, wait, 20 bahts is too cheap, I want to sell for 22, I can just update it. No problem. Nothing affects the system right now, okay? So I'm gonna change it back to 20 baht again because I want round number, okay? That's it. You can change anything, right? Again, if we create the order, then let's do the money route first, okay? So from sales order, we're gonna go to sales invoice. Okay, so let's keep it simple. We'll just do one invoice for the customers, right? Again, if you did it to sales order, you don't have to do anything because everything's filled in automatically. So you can just save and you can just submit. Wait, okay. Okay, do you guys know what this is? No? Okay. Hopefully it's not fire. But usually fire alarm is more annoying than this. This one probably is something else from that router. Okay, so right now, hopefully this is not something emergencies, okay? Okay, all right, so here's the thing, like with the purchase invoice, usually you get the document and you key into your system, right? But if you're generating the sales invoice, you have to print it. Usually you print them to the customer. So where is the printing part, right? This one is already built in. So why don't you guys click at this icon, print, right? You gotta give this to your customers, right? So again, the format is actually built in, right? But if you need a new format, actually, if I have time, which I don't think so in this course, actually I can have different formats that, that you can create. It's already there. You can try clicking it. It's actually changing the way to display the data. But you can also create it in Thai. For example, if you need like, you know, like your customer, your company logo and your Thai descriptions, then you can do that. And also, I wanna see if it does it well. I can change the language too. Let's say, why don't you change it into German and see what happens? I want to see if it's doing a good job. But actually, it's auto do that in Thai. So I'm going to change it in Thai, which it's not perfect, but it's actually understandable. I want you to see your own language. I want to see how good it is. Advanced search? Maybe in DE or something. Right? German is Deutsch? No? Yes. It doesn't change anything?
There's no German, right? Must DE eingeben. But maybe I have to.
Can you do? So, can you go back? And can you click here and delete? And see? Can you scroll down to see? Yeah.
Yes, it changes it. It's also, I think, correct.
Correct?
Yes.
Because in Thai, there's a little bit of Thai, mistranslates some other term. Is it okay?
But this one just seems to be like a screenshot. You know, like you.
Yeah, it's too long, right? Yeah. So that one you gotta have to fix the formatting in the template.
It's very professional. It's correct.
Yeah, it's do the job, like maybe like 80% there or something. But usually you have to customize by yourself a little bit more. Okay. But in Thai, it's understandable, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna go back to, and then you can, I guess, you can print, download the PDF, or you can also email it to, I think there's an email part in here, but I haven't figured out the email thing for you, so it cannot email from your instance right now. But you can email from here too, okay? If I remember correctly, you can email. Yeah, so something like that, right? Usually you gotta give your customer the invoice, So that's the part, okay? All right, if I go to my invoice, right, it say unpaid. So that means that I gotta collect money from my customers. If I get the money from the customers, I can create the payment. Okay, let's do payment. And again, it fills in everything automatically. And you can see that the payment type is no longer pay because we're receiving the money. And the customers already filled in, right? And then the amount, if they're paying in full, then you don't have to do anything. Just okay, saved. Oh, again, what are they paying you? I guess cash. Okay, and saved. See, you're good to go. Okay, so once you understand the purchase cycle, the sale is pretty much just the kind of the opposite side, but it has the same way of similar flow, right? And again, if I go back to my sale invoice, it's going to say paid, so you're good to go, okay? Or you can even go to your customer list, right? If you already create the customers, then your customer list should tell you the dashboard to see, oh, this guy, I already billed them 10,000 and they don't owe me anything. So this one, you can also see like how much this customer is owing you by looking at the dashboard from the customer list too. Okay. All right, so we take care of the top part, right? Let's do the delivery of the goods. Okay, so let's go to sales order list. Okay, and again, it doesn't show the amount delivered or the amount that you received, right? So I usually go to this list settings again, just to kind of just refresh it. And then usually they already have the things that I want. I just hit save one time and then it shows. I don't know why it doesn't show like from the first time, but you gotta kind of go to the list settings and save one more time. And then, all the percent deliver and percent bill will show up. Okay, so right now I need to deliver, right? So I go to my sales order and then I'm gonna go to delivery note. Okay, right here. Again, if you don't need to deliver in multiple rounds, then everything's kind of taken care of. That's it. Just to saved, and then submit, and you're good to go. So you complete the sales cycle pretty easily, right? Done, right? And again, you can kind of go back into your sales order, right? You can go to connection. Sales order, go back here, and then you can see that it's completed. Right? Again, as the business owner, you might want to monitor this page just to see if your employee actually did the job correctly. Okay. Okay. Behind the scene, though, I think it's quite educational to think about like what actually happened inside the accounting system while we're doing all of that, right? So I have summarized it here, okay? Again, remember you create the sales order. Sales order doesn't do anything, right? But the thing that affects the system is actually the invoice. Okay? We do the invoice first, right? So if you're charging the customer for 20 bahts, that means that we have the debtor. Debtor is the one who owe us money. Lookหนี้ นะครับ So the debtor increase, but it comes from the sales. Okay, so it's almost like moving the amount from sale and goes into debtor, the guy the one who owe us money. Okay, and then once you do the payment entry, the debtor is gonna almost like transferring the money from here into our bank account. So that means that you no longer have anyone that owes you money. This one cancels out, so no debtors, right? And then this one's done with the money, but then once you deliver your products, that means that your stock has to go down, but then what goes up is actually the cost of your product itself, the cost that you bought from your suppliers. It goes into the expense. So that's how it works behind the scene, okay? So you don't have to remember this, right? Because in the end, the process of doing all these documents is going to take care of your accounting correctly. So that's the beauty, right, of having like the software that actually connects to a lot of module, because it can kind of describe all the process for you, and then you don't have to kind of know what happened behind the scene, because then that you don't have to teach anyone about accounting, right? So think about this: if I have to teach my employees about this, then I don't think that's going to work, right? But then if I only tell them that, okay, just create delivery note, I just create sales order, and I think that one is more, it's more feasible that way. Okay, so let's do some quick exercise. Right? Again, I want you to sell more pens, but you can have, you can make it more interesting by selling in multiple rounds, maybe multiple invoices and multiple deliveries. Same with the purchase, but you can come up with the number that you want. But make sure that you sell profit, right? Because in the end, if I want to see how my business is doing, I usually go to it's called balance sheet, right? Report balance sheet. I want to see green, right? See, right now I got profit. I got a lot of profit. So I want you to make more profit by selling more pens, right? But maybe you can try, a more complicated sales cycle, like multiple invoices, multiple delivery notes. But make sure that you sell green, okay? So the practice is called buy and sell more items until you have profits. Okay, you guys have profits right now? I have profit. And I guess think about the business that you are talking to, right? In the end, you probably is going to have to kind of matching what they're doing, their business flow, to what the software, what is like the process in this software, and see if they matches and or not. Usually they do, but there might be some adjustment that the business has to do, and usually that's what makes this type of software adoption is quite challenging. All right, so let me just go through this process for you one more time. If I want to sell things in a little more challenging, complicated manner, then let me just create another sales order, right? Okay. This time I want to sell another, I make another deal with the same customer, maybe, but this time I want to jack up the price, right? Wait, what happened? Okay, same customers. Let's say I want to sell more pens. Okay. Deliver, I don't know, tomorrow or something. And then maybe sell for another 200. But let's see, I want to do 25 baht, check up more price. Okay. And then I'll just do save, right? Okay. And submit, okay. Okay, maybe this one is a good time for me to show you another way of creating the delivery. So again, maybe I'll do 2 invoices for this. I'll do like maybe 100 at a time, or maybe do like 150 and 50, right? So I'm creating another invoice, sale invoice, right? This one I'll do 150, right? And then, actually, one more time. My internet is kind of slow. Okay, 150, and I saved, right? And I go to, and I submit. Okay. So for the sale invoice, actually I can create multiple things in here. Not only the payment, but you can see that I can also create delivery. So if you, I don't know, there might be another flow where you create invoice first, and then you create the delivery based on that invoice. That's also possible. So in here, usually you go for payment, right? But you can also go for delivery. And if you go for delivery, then you can see that this one actually pick up the number 150 from the invoice, so you don't have to fill it in by yourself. That's also another possibility of doing the sales cycle. Same thing with the purchase. You can create the purchase receipt from the purchase invoice too. Okay, so that means that I deliver from my customer, right? If I'm going to go back into my invoice, I can do connections and can go back to invoice, right? And then I need to collect money from my customer, right? So I can go here and I can do payment when I collect money from my customers, right? And again, this one is for 150 pence, so I can do cash and save, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the first invoice. So that's another possibility, just work from the invoice itself rather than the order. Okay. And then if I go back to my sales order, I think I should be able to see that my sales order, yeah, see? It's also track things correctly too, see? Because I still need to take care of the remaining 50 pence. So I can do another invoice, create invoice. For some reason my computer is slow here. And then the remaining 50, right, I do save. And then submit. Why is it so slow? Okay, done, right? And then from this invoice, I can also do payment and delivery right from here. So I'm going to do the delivery first, which going to pick up the remaining 50 right away to deliver to my customers. So I do saved. And submit. Okay, done. And then do connections. And I go back to my invoice right here. And from my invoice, I need to collect money. So I create another payment. And then I'm going to do cash, receive cash from my customers, and saved, and done. See how fast this is? So it's actually a lot of, I mean, it's quite complicated, but to think about it, like most of the time, you're probably going to click, like do a couple clicks and you're done. So it's not that bad, like from my experience. If you know where to click, right? And if you're not bogged down by all this detail, usually it goes pretty fast. You can create like a lot of invoices in no time. Okay, so I'm done. I'm done with my sale, right? So I can come back and see my how my business is doing. So I do balance sheet report. Again, just appreciate more money coming in. There you go. Got more money now, right? I got profits, right? Okay, another thing that is very important when you go to any business is actually tax. So I'm going to have you do two types of tax. One is value-added tax, and another one is called withholding tax. Okay, so again, I'm not really tax expert. So that's why I just use the infographics, right? So value-added tax is something that I guess if you are buying things from the store, you already pay 7% value-added tax already. So for example, if things cost 100 baht, I guess the shop that you buy it from, the total money that you pay is actually 107. So usually the VAT in Thailand is 7%. But sometimes you are paying the full amount, that's already includes the VAT already without knowing. But if you look at the receipt, you're going to see that actually, like if you go to 7-Eleven, you receipt, you're going to see that you already pay 7% value added tax every time you buy from 7-Eleven, okay? Usually when you buy from big store, they're going to charge you value added tax, right? So that's the purchasing part. But then if you are selling, if you're selling your products, actually you have to charge your customer value added tax also. Because if you don't charge it, that eats in your profits. So it's your kind of, it's customary for you to, not even, it's kind of mandatory. If you don't charge VAT, then you are actually losing money. So there, in the value added tax, there's always two sides, the purchasing side and the selling, and the selling side, right? What's relevant in this diagram is actually number 5 right here. So your job as a business owner is to record how much you pay for the purchase right here. So if you purchase something, you are essentially paying the tax to the government, basically. But then if you are selling something and you charge the value added tax to your customer, that means that you owing your government that money. So it's at the end of the tax cycle, or maybe every month or something, I don't know. You have to kind of make sure that your purchase VAT and your sale VAT, it's actually, you have to kind of calculate how much you owe the government. You have to pay the remaining, or how much the government owes you. So that's the important thing you have to know about that, okay? So that's number 5. So if you use a software, for example, like ERP Next, then that's very easy. You can keep track of if you owe the government that, or if the government owes you, so that you can make the right filing after, I don't know, every month or something. Okay, so let's do that, okay? Let's do that. Okay, so first thing is that we're going to go to accounting, okay? And if you scroll down, there should be tax right here. Okay, this is the part where you have to take care of the tax, okay? So let me rename things so that it becomes clear to you. Okay, so we're going to click sales tax and charge template. Okay, right here. As you can see that this is Thailand tax, right? It's, if you click into it, you can see that it automatically, I guess when you set up the system, you have to tell what country you're in, and it knows pretty much what the tax rate for the VAT for each country is already. But to make things clear, I want to change the name of this into VAT, so that it's clear what you are charging the customers, right? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to do rename. Yeah, and I want to change this into VAT 7. So I'm going to do VAT 7. So I don't know. In case there might be another type of tax that charge different amount, then I'm going to do VAT 7. Okay. Okay, and click rename. Okay. And then, so again, you already renamed it here, but just to make sure that you get everything correct, I'm going to click here, okay? I'm going to make sure that this one is also VAT 7, okay? So just make sure that all the names or the title is changed so that it's clear what you are charging the customers, okay? So rename this one too. So if you do it correctly, then you should have VAT 7 right here, and also right here too. Okay, so I'm going to go back to accounting again, this page, and I'm going to do the same thing with the purchase tax. Okay, I'm going to click at the purchase tax and charge template right here. And again, this one, it just says Thailand tax. It doesn't say what tax it is, right? So I'm going to click here. Again, it says this is tax rate of 7%, so that means it's VAT again. So I'm going to do here and rename. This one's going to go for VAT 7, but this one for the purchase side is a different side, okay? So rename, right? And again, this one, it's not clear what it is. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to say VAT 7. So just to be super clear on what it is. Okay, I think that's it with the rename. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay. So let's do it. Okay. You good? Okay. So let's buy something from our supplier, but now with the tax. Okay. So we're gonna do purchase order. And let's say I'm gonna do another deal from my suppliers, right? I'm gonna add purchase order, and same guy this time. I mean same guy, always same guy, right? And I'm gonna do pen, another pen. Okay, too many pens right now. Okay, required by today. I'm gonna do like maybe another 100, right? And I'll do rate of 10 bahts each. Okay, so normally you're done. Like normally this is all you do with the purchase order, right? But if you want to do tax, you just have to go down here, and you can do this one: purchase tax and charge template. You can see that this one are the VAT that we talked about. So again, if you have another type of tax, you can also create another template if you name it correctly. I mean that makes sense to you. For example, here you can click it here, and you can see that there are the VAT that occurs, and it charged me 70 bahts because my total is 1,000. So 7% of 1,000, 70 bahts, and then the total is 1,070 baht. That's it that you have to do in terms of tax. Okay, so let's do it. Let's make the save and submit. Like normally in all the business that you are going to deal with, probably have to do VAT, unless they are too small. If it's too small, then they don't have to do VAT. Okay. All right. So again, let's just go through the money cycle, because we don't care about the delivery anymore. We just want to see how the tax affects the accounting systems. Okay. So let's create the invoice right now. Okay. And again, if you already input everything into the purchase order, like all the required information will be triggered down. So as you can see, suppliers here, all the products that you want to buy, and then see the VAT also come down here too. So everything's already filled out, so you don't have to do anything, right? And you can also click saved and submit, like that. Okay. But here's the thing. I think what's interesting is that if you see the ledger, let's see what happened. You can see that there are now more things that occur in our accounting system. Okay. Again, the creditors is the one that we have to pay the money to, right? So that's liabilities. Stock received but not billed. This is the temporary account that takes care of the goods that we haven't paid yet. That's something that's kind of like make the balance of the double accounting system with the inventories. But now there are new accounts in here, right? VAT. So where does VAT reside? VAT is also another liability. When we have VAT right here, it's saying that do we have to pay the government, or does the government needs to pay us? So that's the VAT, right? So let's see what happened. VAT goes up. So the liability goes up. That means that we actually, the government owed us money. Remember, the liability, if it's negative, that means we owe somebody. But if the liability goes positive, that means somebody owed us money. So that means that right now, the government owes us 70 baht because we have to pay the VAT to the supplier. So that's how it works. Okay, so this is handled correctly. Okay. So you can again make the payment, and that's kind of the same with the purchase cycle. So I'm not going to go to the payment, but I just want to tell you that right now you already record you know, how much the government owes you in terms of the VAT already by this process, okay? Okay, so but again, let's just complete the money cycle again. I'll just do payment, but this one is nothing different. Payment is the same as before. Nothing changed. I gotta do cash again, right? Cash, save, that's it. Done. Okay. Okay. Now, again, if you're selling, right now we are paying the VAT after we purchase things. But now let's do selling, right? Let's make sales order, and let's make a deal with our customer, same guy, customer A, and we're gonna sell the pen for, I don't know, 20 pens, right? And 20 bahts, okay? And if it's were before, then you're done with this information. But now we wanna charge the customer 7% so that we don't lose our profit, right? So we gotta come to the tax and we apply the sales tax of 7% right here. Okay, again, this is the 7% of the total that I charge my customers. So I'm gonna go to saved and submit. Okay, so now I have make a deal with my customers with the tax. Okay, again, this is just the order, right? This is not the invoice yet. So this doesn't affect anything yet, but we already agree on this amount of money with the tax, okay? So let me create the invoice. So invoice is gonna be the one that affects our systems, okay? Okay, so I do invoice. Again, you should not have to do anything because all the information are filled in automatically, including the VAT, okay? So I'm gonna do save, invoice, and submit. Okay. All right. So again, what's interesting is actually what happened behind the scenes. So ledger. What happened to the ledger? So again, if you are issuing the invoice to your customers, that means that you have somebody that needs to pay you, debtor. Debtor is somebody who needs to pay you this much, right? But again, when they pay you this much, it actually go into the sale. Only 400 baht. So you only got 400 baht for your income. But again, you owing the government 28 baht for the tax, right? And this one go into the liability again. So when the liability goes down, that means you owe government 28 baht, which you can see that it's actually the side that the VAT is on is actually handled correctly. For the purchase order or for the purchase invoice, the tax go on the debit side, right? But then for the sale, it's actually the opposite. It goes on the credit side. So it handled this correctly according to the accounting system, okay? So again, after this, it's nothing different. So you can go ahead and pay your, you can go ahead and collect money from your customers. So I'm gonna do like create the payment. But this part has nothing new. You just kind of complete the purchase the sales cycle, right? Cash and save. Okay, you're done, right? You're done. No, actually, you have to submit it. Okay. All right. So the nice thing about this is that once you go to your I think by the end of the month or something, you have to kind of summarize all the other VAT documents so that you can file the tax report correctly, right? And in that way, this one helps you a lot because you can go to maybe general ledger, this one, report general ledger. This one is the all the transactions that you do in all the accounting systems, okay? And when you go here, if you already have something in here, make sure you delete it so that it shows everything. If not, then it's probably gonna show just the documents that you are on, okay? It's not doing anything. I just have to refresh it. Right here, see? You're supposed to see a lot of entries, right? If you don't see a lot of entries, that means that maybe you have this voucher that are specific to any voucher. But the thing that I want to show you is that if I go to account and I type in VAT, and now I can see that I have two VAT entry, right? One of them, the first one is from my purchase. I have to pay the government, I have to pay the purchase VAT, so the government owe me 70 baht. But then I charge the sales tax to my customers, 28 baht, so I owe the government this, right? So in the end, the government still owe me 42 baht. So that's something that that's actually helped the business a lot, because as I can tell you from my experience, handling VAT is actually quite painful because it's very detailed. But if it's a handle like this, then you have all the documents that you need to submit to the like IRS, like I don't know, like Gom Sampakon, Revenue Department, something. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so you can safely tell your business, like in your project, like if you talk to the business owner, you can tell them that the VAT is taken care of pretty nicely. Right? Again, okay, maybe one last topic for today is another type of tax, which is called the withholding tax. Okay, so that's something that the business owner has to do a lot because they are paying, you know, the employees, right? So let me show you this one. Okay, so apart from VAT, then there are another type of tax. It's called withholding tax. Okay. So, I mean, I guess if you get paid by the company, then you probably know about the withholding tax because, so for example, if you earn maybe 10,000 baht per month, the company is going to withhold some money for you. Like you don't get 10,000 baht, you don't get less than that. And the reason is that the government wants the company to withhold some amount for you so that the government get the money to use right away. They don't have to wait until the end of the tax cycle in order to get the tax money. So that's the reason for the withholding tax. And as the business owner, if you're paying your employees, you got to withhold the tax, but then you have to keep the records so that you can report your tax correctly. And also, not only for your employees, but if you're a business and you're paying somebody for service, for example, if your business renting the office, actually you have to withhold the tax for the service, for the fee of the rental fee and other things too. So there are many ways that you have to, like many things that you have to withhold the tax from the from those who you pay, but then you have to keep track of, you know, all these documents. So then you have to report the tax correctly. So this is one of the pain points for a lot of the business, which is like, how do I keep track of all of this? And ERP Next also handle this quite, I guess, quite nicely. Let me just show you that, okay? Okay, so we're gonna go through this by, we're gonna do creating withholding tax account. Okay, so this one a little bit more complicated, but everything you already did, nothing new in terms of the action in this. Okay, so we're gonna go to chart of account. Okay, and we're going to go to let me make sure I get it right. Okay, we're gonna go to liabilities, right? Because when you talk about tax, it's a liability with the government, okay? Go to current liabilities, and we're gonna go to duty and tax. So right now, we only have VAT, right? But I wanna keep track of the withholding tax, so I'm gonna create a new account, add child, and I'm gonna do withholding tax. I'm gonna see what name I should use. Okay, I'm gonna do WHT because withholding tax is too long, right? And the type is gonna be tax. Okay, so make sure that you have the tax type in here. And the name doesn't matter, but usually I just keep something short. Okay, and you can leave the tax rate to be 0. It's okay because we're gonna fill in later. Okay, so create new. So right now, if you do it correctly, you should have withholding tax account in here. Okay, you good? Okay, so now let's go back into some of the setup. Okay, so we're gonna go to the accounting. And we're going to go to another type of tax. It's called item tax template. Okay. Yeah, right here. Okay. Again, it already has something in here, so maybe should we change it? Oh, okay. So actually, I'm not changing it. I'm just gonna add new one. Okay. So let's add new one. Actually, you can change the ones that I already have, but let's add new one. Okay. And this one, I'm gonna say WHT3. That means that I'm collecting 3%. I'm withholding 3% of whatever I'm paying my employee. So withholding tax of 3%. Okay. And in here, I can do tax that goes into WHT. So right now, all the transactions that involve my withholding tax it's gonna be recorded into this account, right? And one of the things that might surprise you is that it's actually -3. It's actually not 3%, because withholding tax is actually the opposite of VAT. VAT is something that it's like when we pay someone, VAT is actually the government owe us, right? But then if we withhold the tax from my employee, I owe the government. So it's actually the opposite way of the VAT. So you have to do -3. Okay, that's kind of like the way that it works within this software. Maybe the other software might do something differently. I don't know. But for this, you have to do -3 for the VAT to be recorded. For the tax to be recorded correctly. Okay. Okay, that's it. So you do saved, and you're good to go. So this is how you have to do for the withholding tax. Okay. Let me just โอ้หลุดเนาะอ๋อไม่เป็นไรครับจะทำให้ใหม่ครับนี่ครับมานี่เลยแล้วก็ edit ไปเลยครับแล้วก็ parents น่าจะอยู่ที่ตัว liability เนาะน่าจะอยู่ที่ tax and duty นี่ตัวนี้ save กลับไปใหม่น่าจะได้แล้วครับจริงๆอยู่ตรงไหนก็ได้นะครับจริงๆไม่ได้มีประเด็นนะครับอยู่ข้างนอกก็ได้ครับแต่นี้ได้ละเรียบร้อยครับแล้วก็มาตรงนี้เลยครับอันนี้มันจะเซตอัพเยอะนิดนึงเพราะว่ามันประหลาดอยู่ตรงนี้ item tax template เนาะแล้วก็ create อันใหม่อันนี้ก็เขียนว่า WHT 3% จริงๆมันมากกว่านี้ก็ได้ถึงว่าอันอื่นก็ได้ครับแล้วก็เราจะไปที่ตัวนี้เราจะไปเก็บในนี้ครับแต่ว่าตรงนี้ต้อง-3เนี่ยเพราะว่ามันตรงข้ามกับ VAT การเก็บคือมันการเป็นหนี้รัฐบาลคนละด้านกันกับ VAT ถ้าเราไปหักเขาเราเป็นหนี้เขาเราไม่ใช่ VAT นะครับคนละด้านกันคือถ้าเราหักเงินลูกจ้างเราเป็นหนี้รัฐบาลไม่เหมือน VAT ถ้า VAT เนี่ยถ้าเราจ่าย VAT รัฐบาลเป็นหนี้เรานะมันเลยต้องคนละไซส์กันครับประมาณนี้ครับแต่ซอฟต์แวร์อื่นอาจจะไม่ได้เวิร์กแบบนี้นะครับอันนี้อาจจะเป็น ERP Next อย่างเดียวโอเค alright so we are ready to do some withholding tax but let's keep it like real. For example, if you are a company, the situation that you might want to do the withholding tax is when you pay for service. So let's say somebody come and fix your machine, you pay them. That's when the withholding tax need to be triggered, right? So let's just do this. We're going to create the service so that we pay for the service, right? So let's go to item list. Okay. So right now, if you go to item list, this is inventory part. We'll do this one in more detail next time. But right now, I want to create a new item that's called service. Okay. And the group is called service. Okay. If you pay for service as a company, you have to withhold 3% of the tax. Okay. And the thing that I want you to make sure is that you don't maintain stocks anymore because you don't keep the service as the number, like it's just the service. So it usually you don't keep track of the stocks, but it has to be there as a placeholder. Okay, so save, right? So right now, if you save, then you should be able to see pen and service, right? And then you're gonna pay for the service. Okay. Okay, almost done. Stay with me, man. Stay with me. I know it's kind of boring with the tax thing, right? When I say tax, it's already boring already, right? Yeah. I mean, to tell you the truth, like I'm pretty bad with tax, like for many, many years, so I understand you guys, okay? Okay, we're gonna do purchase order again. Okay, and I'm gonna do new purchase order. So right now, let's just keep it a little bit real so that maybe we can do a new like mechanics, right? Like we have mechanics to come and fix our equipment in our company, right? Right. And with this mechanics guys, we're gonna do service. Okay, we're gonna pay for the service. We're not paying for the pen anymore, okay? And then maybe he come fix today. And usually you don't have to worry about the quantity because the service is not non-countable, right? But usually you want to pay him, maybe he will charge me like 5,000 baht. So this service will cost me 5,000 baht, right? So as a company, I'm supposed to pay him 5,000 baht for the service. But then the law required me to withhold 3% of this and keep it for myself and report to the IRS later on, okay? I guess it's called IRS, not, I mean, revenue, yeah, Internal Revenue Service, yeah, that's right. Okay, so here, if you only do this, that means that you haven't done the tax yet, right? So let's do the tax right now. I think it's gonna go, let me show. So here you never done this before, but this item, you can also click that pencil icon to bring up more details, okay? And this item, as you go down, you're gonna see that there is something called the tax, right here, item tax template, okay? And you can see that right now we can apply this withholding tax 3% to this item, okay? That's it, okay? And then if you click somewhere else, click outside to close that window, you can see that now I have the withholding tax, which is 150 baht that are withholding. So in the end, I'm only paying that guy 4,000 baht, 4,850 baht, because I withhold 150 within my company, within my account. Okay, but I gotta report to the IRS too, right? Okay, you guys got the withholding tax, okay? Well, you're supposed to pay less, okay, not pay more. Okay, this is not bad. Okay, okay, so let's do save, right, and submit. Okay. So again, this is the purchase order, right? So nothing changed to our accounting system yet, okay? But what's going to change is when we create the purchase invoice. Okay, we can save. Again, everything's going to come, get imported from the purchase order. So you guys fine. You don't have to do anything except save and then submit, right? Okay. But I want you to see that with this construction, then if I go to the accounting ledgers, you can kind of see that now you have the withholding tax records in here. And let's think about if it makes sense or not, okay? So again, everything else the same, right, except for this guy right here. So let's see, your withholding tax goes down, right? This is the liability. Liability goes down, that means you owe somebody. That means you're owing the government 150 baht, which is the correct side, right? So that's where the negative 3 come from. It come from it. I put negative 3 so that like from this construction, it goes to the credit side, okay, which is the right way, okay? Again, you can also do the same thing with the sales cycle. If you are performing, I guess if you are providing service to another business and they are deducting the tax from your service, you can see that it comes from the other side. So let's try that right now, okay? So let's say we are performing the service to another company. The company is going to deduct the money when they pay to us too. Okay? So let's do sales order. Okay? And add another sales order. And customer doesn't matter, it can be customer A, it's fine. Okay? But right now, let's say we're going to perform service to that customer. So we do service, right? And then the quantity doesn't matter, but maybe we'll do, I don't know, 6,000 baht for the service, right? Again, if this is all you do, then there's no withholding. But you can also go to this pencil right here. And we're going to go to the item text templates and then do withholding like that. Yeah. And as you can see that right now I charge my customer 6,000 baht. But if I do withholding tax, then the customer is going to pay me 5,820 baht because they keep the money. They keep 180 baht for themselves because they have to report to the IRS later on. But I only got this much, 5,000 and so on, right? So I'm going to do save and submit, right? There you go. And again, this one is just sales order, so nothing changed to the system yet. But if I were to do sales invoice, right? And again, nothing, you don't have to do anything if everything's correct. So I do save and do submit, right here. And I can also do view and accounting ledger. You're going to see the same thing again because now the withholding tax is going to go on the debit side because if the customer pay me less, then that means that the government owe me money. I can use this money and offset the one that I collect. And as you can see that if I go to the general, I guess this is in general ledger, right? So I can delete this one right here, away. I want to see everything. Or maybe I can do another refresh. Okay, I see, oh, no, I'm not seeing it. Okay, let me just delete them. Go. Sometimes you gotta refresh one more time to see all the no, it doesn't come up. I want to go to general ledger report, general ledgers, which is this one right here. It doesn't allow me to do refresh. I got it, refresh right here. Okay, if I were to go to account and withholding right here, and now you can see that I get all the records for the withholding tax. So this one, I owe government 150 baht, but then the government owes me 180. So in the end, I got my balance to be 30 baht. So that means that actually I got the tax credits. So I can use this one to reduce my tax by the end of the tax cycle. So again, this is a lot of pain point for a lot of business. And actually, if you miss doing, if you report incorrectly, you actually get a pretty hefty fine up to, I don't know, like 200%. And with all the interest rate that they'll charge you if you get caught and then you haven't paid for a long time, it can be, they say that all of the tax can ruin your business if you don't take care of it correctly. So you can safely tell your business that you are working with that, the VAT and then the withholding, like all the tax are pretty much taken care of. And you should be fine if you do it like this, okay? Okay, I think that's a good time to stop because it's almost to 8. But yeah, thank you for staying with me, all right? I'll see you next time. Bye.